When I went to Notre Dame, I was pre-med, and for the first couple years was just wanted to have a family and go to medical school. As I was living in the dorm and realized how much I loved living in community, I really felt at home, I felt loved, and I could love other people. And that was community life in Holy Cross.
I think I first started thinking about my vocation to religious life late in high school, but I really started thinking about entering formation my freshman year after meeting the priests and brothers of Holy Cross on campus here. It was very inspiring to meet all of these priests and brothers and to see so much of my own family life back in Missouri present in the family life in the community of Holy Cross.
I came to Notre Dame just as a regular student. I was a math major, and then, while I was living in one of the dorms on campus, I was coming to see at that point sort of just a different model of what religious life was and what priesthood could be, kind of a more community-focused endeavor, and also just, recognizing, okay, there's a whole lot of other opportunities for mission, a lot of different ways that priest can live and work.
I came to learn about Holy Cross in maybe an alternative route for most people. I had never heard of Holy Cross growing up. I bought the essential writings of Blessed Basil Moreau online and absolutely fell in love, based on his words, with the congregation, with his vision for the work of the congregation, for the religious vows and what they mean for the Christian life itself.
When I first got to Notre Dame, I was very surprised to find out that my rector was a Holy Cross deacon. He was new to the hall, just like I was. And within 8 days of being on campus, I was at the final profession of vows for Holy Cross. And I really had no experience with that. I didn't know what I was getting into. All I knew was that it was clearly important to the hall and to the life of the campus. And I had no idea that it was going to become important to me.
When I was in high school, there were 10 seminarians from my home parish, so it was really a hotbed for vocations. Vocations were encouraged, and people were constantly saying, hey, you should think of becoming a priest, to me and to many other young people. I looked into the old college program because of the Holy Cross brothers I knew, and went and visited, and it was awesome. I felt right at home. It was very clear that the young men in old college loved Jesus, and they loved each other, and I wanted to be a part of that.
I decided to go on to grad school to pursue my doctorate in engineering, biomedical engineering specifically. And that was what brought me up to Notre Dame. I was able to not only learn more about the basics and some more advanced concepts of engineering, but this was really a place where I could start to explore my faith. I'm a convert to Catholicism, and so I was actually received into the church here in South Bend.
After I graduated, I worked for a couple years as a software engineer. After a couple years on the job, I just started to ask myself some of these bigger questions of what I'm doing. Could there be more there? Could he be asking me to give a little more of my life? And that's when I first started thinking about religious life and priesthood. And then that's what led me to Holy Cross.
When I found out about Holy Cross and that they were priests and brothers together, their charism of education, the way they live their lives, the way they share their lives with those they ministered to, made me consider the possibility, helped me consider that I could do that too.
I was a student at the University of Notre Dame. I studied civil engineering, and I truthfully did not like classes all that much, but I liked the prospect of being an engineer, so I stuck with it. I had discerned throughout college and been interested in the priesthood, but never felt sure enough that this was what God was calling me to do. And for 5 years, I worked as a construction manager, a superintendent, and as I hit those goals, I decided to start discerning the priesthood again. I had kind of put it on pause, so jumped back into the discernment and came here to Moreau Seminary.
I chose Holy Cross ultimately because it's my family. I think over the past 6 years, I've realized that this is where I feel at home, where I can love and be loved. And I want to take vows with Holy Cross because these are my brothers. These are people who love me in good times and bad, and realize that I can love others better. They make me a better person, make me a better Christian because of this community life. So that's ultimately why I'm choosing Holy Cross.
It's really wonderful to be able to share sort of the highs and the lows of formation with men that are going through the same thing, or men that have gone through similar things.
It's just such a blessing to be supported by such a great group of guys that's very diverse. We all have different gifts and talents and interests and passions for ministry, but we all get together so well, and when we come together, it feels like home.
I'm also so humbled to be a part of this community, of this great band of men, as our constitutions say, who have gone before us in so many different capacities, the best pastors that I've ever met, the greatest educators that I've ever seen, missionaries that have spent their life in service to the gospel, and to be counted among them and to contribute to that same mission is a profoundly humbling prospect, and for which I'm very grateful.
Family and community have always been very important in my life. I am the 9th of 11 children. My mom always tells me that I'm her favorite 9th child. They try not to pick favorites, but clearly. My parents, through various means in our lives, have always talked about being part of something bigger than ourselves, and Holy Cross really provides that.
I first felt drawn to Holy Cross besides the community aspect because of the different ways we minister to people. So I've really been able to allow Holy Cross to support me and send me out to different places around the world, really. And Holy Cross has really sent me across all borders, and it's really been blessed.
There were so many times in the seminary where I wasn't having these ecstatic mountaintop experiences, but it could be in the chapel at daily mass, and just this deep resonating sense of there's nowhere else I'd rather be in the world. It's good that I'm here, and this is where I'm supposed to be, this is where I'm meant to be. And so just being in those small moments, all of those things put together sort of make up the collage or the mosaic of my experiences and my memories here at Moreau Seminary. I've really come to discover the truth that the vows that we take are, yes, our gift to God, but more importantly and more primarily, God's gift to us.
So my first assignment as a Holy Cross brother is to be an assistant rector in one of the residence halls and to teach beginning and intermediate French.
My first assignment will be teaching math at Cathedral High School. I'll be teaching algebra and geometry to about 130 students in Indianapolis.
So my assignment is at Stonehill College to be the campus minister for faith formation. So my primary responsibilities are student leader formation, sacramental prep for marriage and confirmation, and for the spirituality groups on campus.
Got a great assignment, so I'm sent down to St. Ignatius Martyr Parish in Austin, Texas. Kind of doing all sorts of stuff, preaching, got baptisms lined up, a lot of marriage prep, and that's all good. I'm, just delighted to be kind of diving into that.
I've been assigned to be the rector of Dillon Hall here at the University of Notre Dame. I didn't go to Notre Dame as an undergraduate, so I am just very excited to be able to be in full-time ministry at the rector of Dillon Hall with 240 undergraduates living under the same roof as me.
I think the line that comes from the Constitution that just has always stuck with me is talking about the great band of men and recognizing that there have been so many priests and brothers that have walked before me doing such great work in service of God and His church in the congregation of Holy Cross. And it's a humbling experience then to see myself as walking with that band of men who has invited me along the way, and that hopefully then I'm able to invite others to join us in this vocation.